Tyra said to go live and show your face. It's absolutely freezing in this room. What is it, 73 degrees in here? Turn on my goddamn electric fireplace. Freezing, freezing, freezing. God damn, it's cold up in this bitch. 73 degrees, got my shirt off. And I'm going to do a quick live because I got to go to bed, or at least I'm going to try to get to sleep. And just going to talk about this shooting that happened in Virginia, and how Tyra is not necessarily responsible per se, but how the IMPD needs to pay attention to people in particular like Tyra Moore, who not only traffic in firearms within the city of Indianapolis and outside the state of Indiana, and for all we know, how many of Tyra's guns have made it outside the border, right? Um, but this is more so specifically tied to Tyra's past and or current behavior, all of which is displayable upon YouTube. What up, Chris Styles? We're talking about how Tyra is an irresponsible gun owner. So, in relation to the kid, what was he like? What, an 8-year-old or a 6-year-old who took the gun and shot the damn teacher in Virginia, right? Tyra's done this before too. I'm talking to you, IMPD. I'm talking to you, Mr. FBI, as Tyra says it. So we can see on Tyra's YouTube history and consider IMPD, Brenda Sam, and the Austin dude. I forget his last name. And as I previously reached out to Brian Roach, who used to be the chief of IMPD. Now, Tyra's YouTube history, as I stated, you guys got his computers. You can see that Tyra has regularly had his guns laying out. Donna Henson often has her grandchildren over at that house, 911 North Rule Street. As you IMPD go through his YouTube history and his computer, and you guys go through his DSLR camera, I'm confident you're going to find guns laying around in that house. Probably not the guns that you guys recovered. I'll say that again, Mr. IMPD and ATF, right? I'll say that again for you, IMPD and ATF and DEA. The same guns that you probably have found in that DSLR and on that camera and on them thumb drives are probably guns that you were not able to account for. It's not the Smith & Wesson. It's not the Taurus. It's, for all we know, it could be a Benelli. It could be a SIG. It could be a Glock or several. So when you guys go to trial, ask Mr. Tyra Moore and Donna Henson. I'll say it again. Ask Tyra Moore and Donna Henson, why do the guns that you guys are able to find in picture images do not match the inventory that you guys are able to pull from that house? Finax. I'll also who is Brenda Sams? She's not the DA. Brenda Sams is she's like the chief investigator for gun crimes at an East District. I forget her exact table or her exact title rather, but I think she's not the prosecutor. She's lower down. But for the people that just came in, thanks for coming in. I'm talking about Tyra and Tyra's very loose gun habits in that house. How Tyra has all them guns laying around and all the grandbabies running up and down that house. So when I speak specifically to the prosecutor, Ryan Mears, and I speak directly to Brenda Sam, I want you. Nah, this ain't Sungrown. This Fuego. Um, I want to speak specifically to Brenda Sam and Brian Mears, the DA of Marion County and or Indiana, to, or I should say the county, Marion County. I want to say specifically that when you guys get Tyra in the courtroom, and assuming, okay, all right, cool, Mr. Fairplay, stick around if you can. I want to say that they need to ask Tyra if it is true that all the guns are in Donna's names. Again, this goes back to what I previously stated. The inventory that was pulled from that house, 6 guns. Keep in mind, Tyra has 3 shotguns. He's supposed to have at least 3 ARs, the black one, the blue one, the pink one, and he's got at least, what, 5 or 6 pistols? That's not 6. In the picture that Tyra is sitting on the couch, there are 13 guns sitting around in that house. At least 13 guns sitting around in that house. A couple months ago, Vic called this out too, right? What Tyra has in that picture does not match what the police were able to pull away from that house, right? So they got his bank records. Is Tyra selling the guns for cash? And if so, IMPD, ATF, and DEA, why are there no, or are there rather, are there transaction records? Are there proof of sale, a paper trail? Is there a background check? Again, Chucky Dial called it out years ago. Tyra Jamel Moore is a straw salesman. He is a straw salesman for guns. And I want real law to come up in here and prove otherwise. I need real law or ADOS or Jay from Jersey, was a couple of Tyra's riders to come prove to me otherwise. It's only because D Rizzo, maybe about a year or two ago, started giving Tyra shit about leaving the guns out that Tyra only then went and got a gun safe. So again, IMPD, ATF, DEA, check Tyra's bank records. He claims to have 6 bank accounts. That in itself should leave a red flag well in front of your eyes. A legitimate business owner does not necessarily need 6 bank accounts. All right? So we're going to ask ourselves this question. If Tyra had 13 guns, you guys are only able to pull away 2. Again, we're going to connect the dots here. Going back about a year and a half, 2 years ago, when did Tyra buy the safe? Only after D Rizzo called out Tyra has the guns laying around and all the kids running loose around the house, right? So when did Tyra buy the safe? Was the safe locked when you guys got there? Keep in mind, IMPD, ATF, and DEA, Brenda Sam, and Ryan Mears, the district attorney. Why did Tyra only buy the gun? Or excuse me, rather, Tyra claims to have 3 safes. Again, ATF, DEA, Ryan Mears, Brenda Sam, Tyra Jamel Moore claims to have 3 safes. Tyra Jamel Moore also claims to have multiple storage units. Tyra Jamel Moore also claims to have guns near his hands. He can always get his. What do you say? Something to the effect of, "I got guns within arm's reach," per se. Let me read this comment. I had a question for you, but know what? I'll present it some other time. Don't care about who's being discussed. I got a hold of an old school sativa. Oh shit! All right then. That's what I grow. That's actually a family member's plant. That plant is at least 8 feet, 9 feet. Yeah. We could talk, Mr. Fairplay. But what I'm getting at is, yeah, the inventory probably doesn't match, but more so I was getting at the gun safe. So let's see the bank records as to when Tyra bought that gun safe. And we have to ask ourselves, can 13 guns really fit in that one safe? No, they can't. Because again, Tyra had at least 3 shotguns. He had at least 3 rifles. I think he had a bolt action as well. He had the 3 ARs, the 3 shotguns, and normally, at least where I live at, gun safes are easily 5 feet, right? Easily 5 feet for a gun safe, and they're well over 300 pounds. They're usually, like your standard gun safe is going to be, what am I talking about? They're usually at least 5-6 feet tall. They're at least 3 to 4 feet wide, and then the gun safes are easily 300 pounds. Right, so assuming Tyra got that thing upstairs by himself, there's no way in hell that thing is a proper gun safe. Hold on, ooh, smoke. Okay, old school strains. Yeah, we don't talk, Mr. Fairplay. But what I'm getting at here is that safe is not sufficient for 13 guns. So when Tyra claims to have 3 safes, he might not be lying. Now the question is, Brenda Sam, Brian Mears, the district attorney, where are those safes? Where are those safes? And more so, the guns, potential guns that are inside, because we know he had at least 13 on hand at one time. Are they all in Donna's name? Are they in Tyra's name? So I'm asking you, IMPD, Brenda Sam, I'm asking you, what are its gun records? What are the purchase records? Because you have to go through the process to get a gun. You have to sign off on it. There's a purchase. And the next question is, when Tyra Jamel Moore and or Donna Henson, because she's a little X factor in this, assuming the guns are put in Donna's name, when Tyra goes to buy these guns, do his bank records match? Is he using Donna's credit card like he does at the auctions? Is Donna swiping for the credit card at that time? Or is Tyra taking Donna's credit card and buying the guns? If I were to take my wife's credit card and make a purchase using her credit card, do you see where I'm going with this? Right? Or more so, is Donna signing off? Is Donna signing off for these guns? Right? Is she the one who puts her name down as if she's purchasing? She uses then her credit card, or are they using cash? Again, Tyra says he has 6 bank accounts. Tyra says he has 6 bank accounts. So why is Tyra Jamel Moore purchasing guns either in cash and or using Donna's credit card, or maybe he's using his own, assuming he has one? But what I'm getting at is, a legitimate person, an honest gun buyer, would not need to have so many bank accounts and or hide a paper trail. So again, this goes back to Tyra having all these guns loose in that house. And we have to go back to the history, because there is a history. And I speak again, I want to speak directly into the ears of the district attorney, the state prosecutor, Brenda Sam. I want to speak to you when I say Tyra has a history of this. Go back to the elementary school in that neighborhood where Darius Moore, who is currently in jail, being held on gun charges. Darius in 3rd grade, making what, an 8-year-old? Darius at the age of 8 years old took a firearm to school. How did Darius Moore get a hold of a pistol? An 8-year-old. How does an 8-year-old sneak a gun out of a house? A, the gun is loose. 2, the parent is unattentive. 3, the gun is not stored in a secure safe. Usually when a gun is, and now it varies from country to country and state to state and what have you, the magazine's got to be out. There's got to be a firing pin. What else? Depends on what type of gun it is, but I know you need at least a firing pin. The magazine, yeah, that's right. The magazine and the gun got to be stored separately, at least where I'm at. And you got to have a firing pin in that bitch. How does an 8-year-old get a gun out of the house? So again, this goes to D. Rizzo's point. Tyra only got a gun safe after he was given shit on YouTube, and this is within the last year or two. So there's a history of Tyra allowing guns to go running out that house. Lo and behold, we had another, I don't want to use the word idiot, but an irresponsible adult that allowed a gun to get out the house, run down the street, and go up in a school. Darius took his gun to school. We could have had this years ago. Let me read this comment real quick. What about Donna's mother? If Donna's a felon, you know what? That's a great point. That's a great point, Chris Styles. Is Donna buying the guns for Tyra using her credit card and putting the guns in her mother's name? That's a great point. And maybe that's the reason why Tyra keeps her up in there, because they'd be using the SSI check to go to down to them. was it? The gun shows. And again, I want to speak specifically to IMPD. I want you guys to pay attention to this. If you, IMPD, ATF, DEA, District Attorney Ryan Mears, I want to say to the summer of 2022, maybe the spring or summer of 2022, contact D Rizzo. I know he's in contact with you guys as well, especially Super Jim knows. The local gun shows, there was like a string of them, maybe 4 or 5 of them going on. I want to say spring or summer of 2022. Tyra Moore said he's going to attend every single gun show. Go back in his YouTube and listen to what Tyra said. He said, I'm going to every single gun show and I am buying. Tyra Moore, either in the spring or summer of 2022, said, I'm going to every single gun show and I am buying. What was he trading? What was Tyra trading? Because we know he does not have a regular income. And again, you guys have his bank accounts. You guys have his bank statements. Do the transactions match per se? More so, I should say, are there a series of $200, $300, $400 withdrawals and or charges to his and or Donna's or the mother-in-law, thank you, Chris Styles, credit card during that time period? Also, Tyra does use Squarespace. So for all we know, he could be making transactions via Cash App and or Squarespace in order to hide his gun purchases. So that's something I would really hope that the IMPD pays attention to. What means of barter and or cash is Tyra Moore and or Donna using to try to bury the paper trail in which they are buying and or trafficking these firearms? And again, we know that Tyra is very loose with firearms. That's how these guns get out and these kids run off with these guns. This is what happened to his own son. You know what, IMPD, I'm asking you guys, talk to his son, Darius Moore. Darius Moore probably has a lot of information regarding Tyra Moore and his gun practices. Darius Moore could probably tell you where Tyra has additional guns or where Tyra used to store or currently stores guns in that house. Darius Moore, in exchange for time off his pending sentence, would probably happily give you information as to where potential hiding spots in that house that you guys may not have found. More so, Darius Moore could probably tell you which abandoned houses Tyra uses to store his guns. Please, Brenda Sam, keep in mind, Tyra Moore within the last 4 to 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, has said, I still have guns. District Attorney Ryan Mears, Tyra Moore says, I still have access to guns. Ask his son, Darius Moore, who's up on several felonies. You guys have him leveraged way the hell up. Ask Darius Moore where Tyra is storing more guns. Darius probably has an idea. Darius probably knows a lot more than what you guys are able to recover. So I encourage you, contact Darius Moore. He can't run from you. You guys got him locked up. Talk to Darius. I understand, Chris Styles, that Darius is facing time, of course, and Darius does not want to spend 20, 30 years in the bin. Darius probably knows, and Darius will probably sing like a bird. That's what I'm saying. IMPD, you need to go up in that jail cell and not physically, but figuratively twist Darius's arms. He knows a lot more than what he's probably, more so you guys probably haven't even asked him yet. Y'all hit Darius with some hard time, he's probably going to give you guys some information that you need. I can't stay on too much longer. I hope that I've been able to inform the masses and speak to Donna Sam and Austin and the dudes, the two bounty hunters that Tyra pointed them guns at. And before I get out of here, IMPD, Brenda Sam, the Austin dude, I forget your last name. Please be advised that Tyra has pulled a gun out on several people before. I'm not too sure if you guys are aware, but you guys should have it on if you have access to his YouTube. Tyra has pulled a gun out again because he's always walking around with the gun on his hip. He falls asleep on the couch. He passes out drunk with a pistol on his hip while Donna Henson, her grandkids, are there all the time. So one of the grandkids, it could be at least two, maybe three of them out there at a time, can easily walk up on Tyra Jamel Moore, remove a pistol from his hip, and then you have a toddler or a child less than 10 years old walking around the house with a loaded firearm. Tyra, you can go back to Tyra's videos. He says that he always leaves the guns loaded. I don't want to misquote him, but I know he saying that the safeties are off, but he always walks around with a gun fully loaded, right? Speaking of the safety being off, I encourage you, Brenda Sam, to look at, and you can ask the I won't use the word trolls. I'll use the word the phrase rather, internet sleuths or internet investigators, YouTube investigators. I'm gonna read a comment in a minute, Chris Dawes, to please look at the video where Tyra discharged a firearm into that floor. If anything, you guys might be able to find the round in which Tyra discharged a round from an AR-15 into the floor of that house, which speaks to my point of Tyra constantly having loaded guns in that house, loose, available for children. And again, this is exactly how we had the pistol going off, or more so, the child taking a pistol to school. Exactly the way that Darius Moore was able to do this and then potentially to harm so many other kids at his elementary school. Let me read this comment real quick. The state of Indiana is going to shave time out there for someone facing max of 2.5 years. Tyra's not facing a maximum of 2.5 years. Tyra Jamel Moore is facing a max of 2.5 years for the charges that were announced at that time. If you read what is called the affidavit, and even Tyra points it out because that's why he knows he's up shit creek, is that Brenda Sam says there are charges that I cannot go into right about now. So that, and I'm just paraphrasing, or as Tyra says, paraphrasing. So Tyra knows that he has charges pending, and he damn well knows they're gun related, because that's exactly what the majority of the affidavit pertained to, guns. The intimidation is just to hold him down, i.e. a 72-hour hold, which is exactly what they did. It wasn't 72 hours, but they locked his ass up, and then they were able to go up in there and get those guns up out of that house. The next thing is or when is Donna going to get dragged into this? Because Tyra said on police camera, those are not my guns. Those are Donna's guns. I'll say it again, paraphrasing. Tyra Jamel Moore said, those are not my guns. Those are Donna's guns, which speaks to or more so speaks to the question I asked earlier, whose name are on those guns? More so, Tyra had 13 guns in one picture, one safe. Do the bank drafts match the dates of the gun shows? Do the names on the paperwork match the name of the purchaser? Is Donna Henson and or her mother unwillingly being used as a straw purchaser, or purchasers, I should say? Then if so, he'd be in jail until his trial, right? Darius is in jail until his trial. Tyra bonded out. They had him on a 72-hour. Well, sometimes if there's an investigation pending, I know stateside, pending on the state, they can keep you on a 72-hour hold. But it's just that it's 72 hours. In Tyra's case, they let him out a little bit earlier, but they did execute a search warrant, meaning that they had probable cause. Lo and behold, they found 6. But again, I have to emphasize to the IMPD and especially the ATF that and I know they have it in their hands. They're doing the forensic evidence, and it goes to the point that there are pictures of 13, but chances are when they go through Tyra's DSLR camera and all the thumb drives, they're going to find pictures of guns that are not accounted for within their inventory. Certain states allow an individual to be on 2 bonds. What? Wow, okay. But what I'm saying is, where was I? Where was I? I was saying something to you. Yes, the photos that they may find and probably will find will not match the inventory. So that goes to the point. Is Donna assisting? Is Donna selling guns for Tyra? Are they selling guns in the mother's name? Are they purchasing and or selling guns in Donna's brother's name? There are many questions that we, the YouTube investigators, do not know at this time. I don't think the word troll is appropriate, at least for a serious topic like this. I think we should be deemed YouTube investigators. We're doing investigative YouTubing, if you will. So again, I you know what? Let me drop this link for Real Law. Let his punk ass come in here and come defend your boy, Real Law, because you got a whole bunch of shit to say to me, and I got time for you. I'll make time for your retarded ass if you got something to say. Come on up in here, Real Law. That's what I want to see. I want to see if, and more so, the ATF and IMPD and Ryan Mears, the district attorney, need to verify who is making all these purchases. Again, Tyra says on camera before, believe it was before his Miranda rights were read, Tyra Moore openly and willingly, under zero duress, said, "Those are not my guns. Those are all Donna's guns. Let's match the purchaser to those guns and or the paperwork associated with those guns. The 6 of the 13. For all we know, the 6 that they pulled have nothing to do or do not match any of the information pertaining to the guns that we were able to see in the photos." But that's just my thoughts. And again, this goes back to Tyra leaving guns out all over the place. If again, and I encourage Brenda Sam and Brian Mears, when Tyra was engaged in his online feud with a man called Bossman Vlogs, who Tyra has since doxed, mind you, him, his parents, and his wife and kids. Tyra Jamel Moore can be seen. I believe I don't know the exact date. Contact Super Jam or D Rizzo. They'll be able to give you the information. But Tyra did pull out a whole bunch of guns from that safe. Again, that safe cannot hold 13 guns. Tyra has said he has multiple safes. The question is, where are they? Again, Brenda Sam, you're investigating Tyra for gun trafficking. He claims to have 3 safes. 13 guns cannot fit in one little, a little minute safe like that. That safe was sitting on a table. Usually gun safes are 5-6 feet tall, with shelves and whatnot. Right? Minimum, a gun shelf, or a gun safe rather, 5-6 feet is going to be 300 pounds. The 3 shotguns, the 3 ARs, and the whole myriad of pistols cannot fit in that safe. Let alone it's not sufficient if one man is able to pick it up and it sit on a particle board table. It's a bullshit safe. Only purchased after he was given shit on YouTube. Let me read this comment. I mean, Tyra does not have a lot of time on his hands. He doesn't have time on his hands. He's finished. Especially after this video. I dropped the link for Real Law. Where the hell you at, Real Law? Come defend your boy. What I was getting at here is I don't think any of the paperwork's going to match. None of the paperwork is going to match. And that's where Tyra is going to run himself into shit. Right? And I thank you, Chris Styles. Great point. Is Tyra or more, well, I'm not even going to say is Tyra or Donna, are the two of them redirecting the Mother Henson, her SSI money for firearms to then flip to individuals who are criminally compromised, felons? Is that the case? Is the mother-in-law's SSI money going to buy a Taurus? It's not. Tyra won't buy it in his name. Donna may buy it in her name, either willingly and or under duress, and then sell it in Donna's name. What's going on here? There are many variables. Unfortunately, us, the YouTube investigators, not trolls, but investigators, we don't have access to that information. But being that you guys have Tyra's financial records, and I urge you, IMPD, Brenda Sam, I urge you, obtain and or subpoena Donna's financial records. Let's see what's on that credit card. You don't have to make it public to us. But what are the odds that Tyra went to that gun show, took Donna Henson's credit card like he does to go buy stuff from the auction? Did Tyra bring his Cash App with him? Is he making sales and or purchases via Cash App? Brenda Sam, District Attorney, what's it, Ryan Mears, have you guys not subpoenaed Tyra Jamel Moore's Cash App? Keep in mind, this is the same gentleman who says I have 6 bank accounts. Is he hiding? Is he laundering money? What's going on here? I again, Tyra Jamel Moore did say, quote unquote, I'm going to every single gun show. I'm going to every single gun show is what Tyra said. And I know he threatened us if we show up. He said he was going to shoot us. So I was right about the raid video. Did they cut some of the raid video out? What exactly did you say, Chris Styles, about the raid video? Go ahead and type it in the comments section. But again, is Donna willingly or being forced to give up her credit card? And even so, if she knew that Tyra was buying guns, she can't do nothing about him in the Cash App. But if Tyra is taking her credit card, which we damn well know he is, to go to the auction, what is to stop him from going to a gun show and then tapping her card at someone else who uses Squarespace, buying a gun, cash in, cash out, and then taking it right back to the street and then flipping that? Or another good point. Read my question again. So was Tyra right about the raid video? Did they cut some of the video out? They didn't cut nothing out. They didn't cut any of that video out. It didn't chop. To my knowledge, it didn't chop. What's happening, Hammer Time? So what I was getting at is Tyra using Donna's credit card to purchase guns, and then he takes it, and then maybe someone will come over, oh, I need my car painted, and then Tyra dumps the gun in the trunk? Or when Tyra is doing body work, is he putting guns in the car panels? You can remove the carpet out of the trunk, and then in between where the metal is on the outside, you got a gap, right? You could easily move guns or drugs. Tyra, an honest man, do you really need 32 cameras in your house? All around your house facing down the street? Again, Brenda Sam, go back to Tyra's YouTube history. I want to call it 2, maybe 3 years ago. You guys came to that house. Tyra's out front of that house. Tyra saw you guys coming. Keep in mind, IMPD, ATF, and DEA, Tyra's cameras do not face directly out front of his house. They face up and down the street. So he in the front and the back. He wants to see you guys coming and going, right? So getting back to the video that I'm referring to, Tyra had the cops called on him because he had a gun out front, a pistol. Tyra then ran back to the staircase, opened up the front door, shouted for Donna, and said, "Get this gun upstairs." Tyra Jamel Moore says, "All my guns are legal. I've been licensed since I was 18. So if that gun was legal, Tyra Jamel Moore, why did you yell for Donna to come take the gun, and you threw the gun within the house rather than let the gun? I mean, hey, you're an honest gun owner. What happened to that gun? Which gun is that, Tyra? Which gun was that, Tyra Jamel Moore, that you did not want IMPD to walk up on you and catch you with that gun? IMPD has walked upon you several times. You've been pulled over driving without a license several times with a pistol on you. When you walked up, not to the corner store, and then somebody called the cops on you for COVID or what have you. You had a gun on you. You didn't hide it then. When they came to your house several times for you threatening to kill everybody in the house, you had a gun on you. You didn't hide the gun then. So my question to you, Tyra Moore, Brenda Sam, and District Attorney Ryan Mears. Tyra, why did you hide that gun? Where is that gun, Tyra? What gun was that? Was it a Beretta? Was it a Smith & Wesson? Was it a SIG? Was it a Hotching Keller or whatever, Hotching Heckler? Whatever it's called, HK. Was it a SIG? Where's that gun, Tyra? Did that gun did it have a serial number on it? Or is that a gun that you bought off the streets? Or is that a gun that you were intending to flip to someone on the street? So we know you go to gun shows, Tyra, and this is exactly my point. You have loose guns in your house. Chances are this is a gun that you did not want the cop to look at because you would have clearly seen that the VIN number has been scratched right off the gun. You got all that shit to talk about Darius, but chances are, in that scenario, you didn't want to get caught with that gun. You say you're a legal gun owner, but you got guns laying all around the house. No safety pin, no firing pin. The mag is all in the clips, laying down on the couch. Donna's kids running up and down that house with pistols and shotguns and ARs lying all around the house, loaded. As per your video, the words out your mouth, MOUF. Let me read this comment real quick. What about the guys that call him during his live stream? Tyra will always let them know know that he's live, so they're careful about what they. Yep, that's very true. And Sungrown called it out. Sungrown called it out about a year or so ago that they always call around the same time. We know Donna's on pills. We know it, right? The hip injury or what have you. So chances are she could be getting muscle relaxers. She could be getting OxyContin. So where are those pills going, Tyra? So and again, I asked the district attorney and Brenda Sam, why haven't you guys subpoenaed Donna Henson? Why have you not subpoenaed Donna Henson's financial records? Because you damn well know that Tyra is probably using the financial resources of Donna and her mother as a cloak for his bullshit. You already know he's using a credit card. What stops him from using her, not necessarily her crazy check, but he's probably using her SSI money as well. It's not like they're paying the bills. So I would encourage Brenda Sam and the Austin, I forget his last name. It's a single syllable last name, but I forget it. I would encourage Brenda Sam to not necessarily indict Donna Henson as of yet, but she is in the household, and she probably is a willing and or unwilling participant. But she still held. She still should be held liable for any gun transactions that Tyra is doing. Because at that point, if Tyra is taking her credit card, she could easily call her bank and say, cancel this card, put a freeze on it. And within the law, they say ignorance is what's the exact saying? Ignorance is something of the truth, something of that nature. I can't forget it right now, or can't remember it rather. It's getting late for me. So I would encourage you, Brenda Sam, not necessarily speak to Donna Henson, not necessarily indict her at this point, but I think it's very important that you, Brenda Sam, and the district attorney Ryan Mears at least subpoena her bank records, at the very least, and or a credit card, because we know Tyra Moore is trying to hide his bank records as to what he's doing with these purchases and or sales. I would encourage you to audit him. He says he has all these businesses, but he's never said anything about an accountant. Tyra Moore, you can see him in videos on YouTube and pictures, which you guys probably have access to since you have his DSLR, his flash drives. He has mountains of cash ahead of him at that computer screen. So are there any invoices for, or more so work orders, which would coincide with that, i.e., a down payment for a large purchase that a customer made? Is there a bill of sale to match said time period? Where's that money coming from? Is it Donna's SSI money? How can Tyra, let's say I'm Tyra, and I have $3,000 cash. I do body work, I do automotive repairs out of my backyard despite the bylaws. I do paint, auto body, I do electrical, I do HVAC, I do roofing, but I cannot produce a work order. I cannot produce a post dated check. I cannot produce a signed bill of sale. This constitutes fraud. I'll say it again for you, Brenda Sam and District Attorney Ryan Mears. If I'm a business owner, Tyra claims to have a kennel, a t-shirt printing business, a HVAC repair, home renovations, home painting, auto repair, audio video installation. He does custom audio visual for cars. Can Tyra produce an accountant who has serviced him at all? Can Tyra Jamel Moore produce work orders, bills of sale, wholesale orders, either for paints or tools or anything? How come the accountant, if even existent, cannot make the numbers match up? There's no ledger. So is Tyra Jamel Moore opening, or at least pretending to open businesses? And in this case, in the case of We Got Kennels, he'll not necessarily incorporate it, but he'll try to legitimize the business, i.e., a shell company. It is a shell company. He then takes money from Donna, her SSI check, and or the mother's SSI check, purchases small firearms for, let's say, 200-300 at a gun show. Again, Tyra says, I'm going to every single gun show. Goes to said gun show, makes several purchases, small dollar purchases, and then flips them for 3 or 5 times what they're worth, either in Indianapolis or out of state. Someone can easily come into Tyra's backyard, go inside the garage where Tyra can see IMPD coming from up and down the street. Keep in mind, IMPD, you guys said one particular officer said, I've never seen someone so hyper, what's the word he used? Hyper vigilant. He's concerned about being able to, not only in the front yard or in the backyard, he's able to see you coming from 300 feet away. So Tyra Jamel Moore could easily go to a gun show with Donna Henson's credit card, her SSI check, and or the SSI check of the mother, purchase 2, 3, 4, 5 firearms, have someone come into his garage, claim that there's body work going on, to which there is no work order, no bill of sale, nothing of the sort, pack the guns, 2, 3, 4 pistols, and then the person drives off, and Tyra will act like, oh, I'm here doing oil changes, I'm here changing fuses, but he's stuffing cars full of guns. These cars then drive down the street, Tyra gets paid. So one car comes in, picks up the guns, another customer, or i.e. customer, I'm using air tags here, or air quotes rather, will come in and then drop off the payment. This is an easy way for Tyra Jamel Moore to be trafficking guns in and out that house. That's why he has so many guns flowing in and out of that house. That's why they were laying around all the time. Guns to him are like what's a common thing in a household, like slippers at the door. That's why he treats firearms so nonchalantly, because they're constantly flowing in and out that house. Anyhow, I'm gonna clean up this chat and I'm gonna jump out this. Those alleged companies has to be in Donna's mother names. It could be. It could well be. What if they both don't have bank accounts? I'm pretty sure. Well, Tyra says he has 6, which could well be bullshit. But then again, he could easily open up a bank account and or force Donna to open a bank account in the mother's name. If Donna isn't receiving SSI, the mother sure as hell is. So there has to be a bank account for the mother. So for all we know, there could be all three separate entities could have multiple bank accounts. And Tyra is using Cash App and the Squarespace. It is very easy to launder money from an SSI payment, and then Tyra just goes on the computer, has access to her bank account, flows money into his Cash App, there you go, flows money into the Cash App, and then the banks have no record of where the money's going. Goes to a gun show, go find someone else with Cash App, pays that person with Cash App, and or when Tyra sells, Tyra could easily do at this point it's 1000% fraud. Come to my garage, I'll do an oil change, or I'll do a transmission swap, what have you. Pretends to do the work, uses the Squarespace, and or gets cash. Right? Now, Tyra is so stupid that he does not keep any paperwork. He gets audited if and when, and Brenda Sam, I encourage you to audit him. Then you're going to find out that Tyra has no paperwork but shows up on screen with a whole bunch of cash, and then you guys are investigating him for gun traffic. The math isn't hard, Miss Sam. I'm pretty sure you've been doing this for quite some time. It's called fraud. This We Got Kennels, it's a shell company. That's all it is. It's a front, like the mafia does, like the Yakuza does. It's a little mom and pop shop, and all he's doing is running guns in and out the back door, potentially, and or drugs. Because again, and I encourage you to subpoena Donna's health records. She's still getting pills. It's obvious. She's admitted on a hot mic. For all we know, she's on Oxycontin, which is basically heroin. I'm pretty sure you know that. And for all we know, she could be getting antidepressants. People snort up antidepressants. Some people just don't know what pills they'll take. They don't care what type of pills they take. They just take them. So that could easily be an income stream, a cash income stream. Again, Tyra's on screen. I know you guys got his DSLR. You'll see him with a stack of cash. And he can't make sense of where it comes from because there's no accountant. He has multiple businesses, no accountants. I'm over my time. I got to get to bed. I want to thank you guys for coming on out. I'll drop the link for Real Law. Tyra, if you're listening, I'm here working with IMPD. We're going to put you right where you belong. We're going to have you right next to Darius. Thank you so much for you guys coming through. You guys have a wonderful evening. I'm going to end this. Take care. I'm going to be back tomorrow, all right? And Tyra, just like the kid who shot the teacher in Virginia, you're just as bad. I'll sum it up with this. There are so many guns, or at least they were or still are, so many guns laying around in that house because you treat firearms nonchalantly. You traffic them nonchalantly. And I'm confident Brenda Sam and Brian Mears are going to bring you to justice. I'm slurring my speech. That means I'm damn tired. Let me get the hell on out of here. Y'all have a good night. Ooh, wait.